Hello and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host Bryan. We're going to finish up this week's theme of outsider music with an artist named Tonetta. The track in question is Yummy Yummy Pizza, which I'm not sure if the song is going to lean in this direction, but does evoke some of that childlike innocence and naivety that we heard with Daniel Johnston's track, Johnston? Yeah, there's a T in there. Daniel Johnston's track earlier this week. So let's dive into this and see what Tonetta is bringing to the table today.
Yummy, 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 yummy pizza. Yummy, 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 yummy. The only slice I
Bit of a lo-fi sound, but musically it's rather solid.
When we go out, it's bye, bye, bye. Me this and that and more. Oh, yeah. When we return, my wallet learns. My girl's my personal whore. Yummy, 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 yummy pizza. Yummy, 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 yummy. Oh, yeah. Tonight's the night to teach you, yeah, a certain thing or two. I loved you with all my heart, but that will end my life.
There's a lot of guitar layers in here.
Tonight, oh, we will part, 'cause greed's what you become.
It's deceptively simple, but there are a lot of interlocking ideas going on that I'm really coming to appreciate.
Not so yummy. Go now, baby, I've seen the truth. You were nothing new. Yummy, 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 yummy pizza. Yummy, 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 yummy. Tonight's the night to teach you, yeah, a certain thing or two. I loved you with all my heart, but that will end my life. As of tonight, oh, we will part. That's grease what you become. Yummy, 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 yummy pizza.
There is a small tonality issue going on. It's not enough to be super distracting, but it's sort of like seeing something at your periphery every once in a while. Like, oh, what's
Go
that?
now, baby, I've seen the truth. You were nothing new. You were nothing new. You were nothing new. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy.
Yeah, okay. Interesting track. It pretty much just has one thing going on it. We have our underlying interlocking guitar ideas, and then the vocals on top. The guitar ideas change only a little bit in the slightest to sort of differentiate a little bit between the verse and the chorus, but for the most part, they sound very similar. I don't know if they actually are 100% the same, or if I am hearing a little bit of difference between them, but the overall impact that the listener is going to have is that the song sounds fairly similar from moment to moment. Now, I called it deceptively simple. It sounds like a simple track. There's a guitar strumming pattern that gives us some chordal movement on the bottom, and then occasionally we'll get some ornamental guitar work above that, with a pretty repetitive vocal melody on top of all of it. But when you really listen to what's being formed in the foundation, you're going to hear about three guitar lines all filling in each other's spaces so that it sounds like a full singular idea. But when you really dig into it, there's a lot of bouncing around in the panning going on that creates an interesting hocket, but it's a hocket of a similar timbre. In fact, it might even just be the same guitar doing all of them, being placed center, right, and left. And so the end result is that it feels like a hocket, or it feels like a hocket but doesn't sound like a hocket, because one of the main aspects of a hocket is timbre changes, the idea that multiple voicings are going to contribute to a singular concept. And we don't really get that here, but the idea of the sound bouncing around places us in that same concept where there is a sonic differentiation between these notes, where the notes together, though, form this full cohesive concept. It is a bit of work to put together, more so than just picking the chord and strumming it. You really have to figure out what notes you want to be placed in what position, sonically, and figure out your rhythmic changes when things are going to be moving around. It creates a bit of what's the word I want? Complexity to the track that I think wouldn't have been there if we had just strummed with the guitar, though the concept of just having this baseline foundational chordal idea would not have been diminished. It's an interesting choice, and I think one that suits the song in a way that amplifies its playfulness. I think the song is still just about eating pizza, and so it creates a playfulness in the music that it needs, while also, once again, creating a bit of complexity under the guise of simplicity. It's a really smart decision to do. Aside from that, we have a couple of ornamental guitar lines, usually just one or two notes here and there. Reminds me of singer-songwriter or folk-style ornamental guitar work. Really neat ideas throughout. It allows the song to feel like it's progressing somewhere rather than just be entirely cyclical, like the foundational stuff is alluding to. And it allows the vocal melody to play off of it a little bit, allowing it to punctuate spaces between the vocal melody or to create a bit of an additional component to what the vocals are doing. And what they are doing is they have a pretty monotonous idea. There is a little bit of movement pitch wise, and there are some variety found within the rhythmic components of the vocals, but on the whole, it just kind of hovers around this one bass note and then just keeps going. There was certainly a point in this track that I kind of tuned the vocals out, which is very interesting for a pop adjacent track. Pop's probably the wrong word for this, but it aims for a mainstream sound. It's more on the simple side, again, a little deceptively simple, but it still aims for a simple, palatable sound created with palatable chord progressions and a melody that is easily digestible. So it's not pop music, but it's pop adjacent in that it has similar aims. So it's interesting then for the vocals to not really take the spotlight the way that they would if anyone else had handled this approach, this genre. And the fact that they sort of just retain this sound, whether we've hit the chorus or the verse, we don't ever have a volume punch up or a change in pitch to accentuate a specific shift in the song. The chorus feels just like the verse, and it kind of moves into this monotonous range. Like I said, I kind of droned it out by the end of the track and was focusing more on the hocketing ideas in the guitars and some of the more ornamental concepts, more so than the vocals. It's a really interesting decision to do, which plays into the production of it and the overall sound, which is rather lo-fi. I noticed a lot of crackle on the vocals when they first came in. And I kind of noticed a little bit of this haziness on the rest of the production too. It is clear for sure. It's not like anything is really muddy, but it does sound like it was recorded possibly in an untreated room with more budget-friendly hardware than a mainstream artist would have utilized. And so some of that room noise is in the floor of this track, and it sort of colors the entire song um, with this haziness. Once again, it kind of fits with everything. There's a lot of bedroom artists, especially prior to the big boom in like the last, what, like decade or so, decade and a half, when you could really reach a high level, high quality production with, consumer tools. And it reminds me a lot of that, the DIY kind of approach to music production, where you just kind of work with what you have. And I think that the music here works well with this type of noise floor on it. It kind of gives it this antiquated sound that works well with the overall angle that they're going for. I don't think I would have felt that anything was missing if this was a cleaner production. It's not something that is a drastic change, but it does add a little bit of character to the sonic quality that, like I said, I think benefits the song as a whole. Um, thought there was one more thing I wanted to touch on, but I don't know what it was. But I think, yeah, I hit on production, structure, composition, vocals. Yeah, I think I got it all. We're gonna have some lyrics and see what's going on there, because I'm kind of curious if this is just it sort of has that childlike innocence about being a song about like and eat pizza. So I didn't, sorry, I didn't quite understand what was going on with this, and Genius had no annotations. I hit up Sonic Hits, and it states that it is a track about a relationship coming to an end and looking at the two most important parts of our narrator's life, their love for pizza and their love for their partner, and them deciding that they need to end it with their partner. Not necessarily for the pizza. The pizza just seems to be this. This is a weird sentence. The pizza appears to be the baseline area that everything in their life gets compared against. And pizza is something that's yummy and, for the most part, something that is budget friendly. Whereas the relationship is not yummy anymore and quite expensive to be a part of. He mentions that his partner has become greedy. In fact, even states that directly because greed's what you've become. And so he says, we're going to have to end this part of my life, even though I loved you with all my heart, because you've just become a greedy person who empties out my wallet. But pizza's yummy. And it says the only slice I truly like costs more than $1 or $2. Um, and that seems to be what it's about. He says pizza's always there for me. You're always running through my wallet. So it's over. As of tonight, we will part because greed's what you've become. And right after that, he says, "Oh, yummy, 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 yummy pizza, but not so yummy you. Oh no." And it's a bit more of a comical song than I was expecting, given the music. But I mean, I guess it kind of works. There's an element to the music I think that's a bit lighthearted and bouncy. The lyrics come off as a bit more comical than I think even the music was kind of leaning towards with its lightheartedness. Interesting set of lyrics, though. Interesting topic, I think. To say that pizza's yummy and you're not, so you're gone. Uh, yeah, interesting. I think it's just how we're going to have to end this. Those are my thoughts on Tonetta's Yummy Yummy Pizza. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. Put your perspectives, opinions, ideas, anything down there above the comment section in the description box, there's a link for Linktree. It'll take you to this menu right here. You can find links to my music, ways to support the channel, the Discord server, and so much more. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all three of those. We do have 2 more videos today, a special selection and a creator request. Be sure to stay tuned for those. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow with an album review. Until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.